Welcome to Channel 18 once again, and this morning our first guest is Barbara Ann Foley, and Barbara Ann has some important information about next week, the 16th, the 17th, and the 19th. So keep those dates in mind as you listen to her. So what's doing on the 16th, Barbara Ann?
So we actually have some wonderful competition for the 16th, both at the same time, unfortunately. Not much I could do about that. If you are interested in your electric rates and competitive suppliers and energy efficiency, we are going to have Cape Light Compact here at 10:30 on March 16th. A woman is going to be coming and speaking about those very subjects. We've had so many people asking us questions, and I apologize. Newsletter is out. That's the good news. The bad news is that the Cape Light Compact info that they gave us is like, it isn't, but it looks like it's like 4 font. It's so teeny. I think it's 10 font, but it's not the easiest to read, unfortunately. I do have hard copies if anyone wants one. You can come in and grab one. But the woman who is coming, Mrs. Henderson, is going to be bringing some of those as well. But a lot of the information that she was, that is in those 2 little flyers is going to be spoken about while she's here. So
Now, I've been getting a lot of phone calls about my electric bill. Everybody wants to tell me about a big discount.
And how you're going to make it lower,
Now
right?
it's going to be lower.
Yep.
So I hope she's going to talk about that.
She is, because I wrote down one of the things that she's going to be speaking about is this marketing outreach or reach out.
Yes.
A lot of it has nothing to do with the actual, grid, NSTAR, and our regular suppliers. They're kind of these rogue agent groups, and they're a little bit concerned, actually, Cape Light Compact. So that's one of the reasons that I asked her to come and talk, because I wanted to, people are getting those kind of phone calls. They have no idea of this competitive rate stuff and what that means. And so I asked if she could come after she sent the article, and she said she would. So if that is of interest to you, it's 10:30 on March 16th. And at the same time at 10:30, if you don't worry about your electric information or rates, we are having our friends from Maplewood who are coming to make a homemade peppermint scrub with us. It's only $5. It covers the cost of the supplies. And you might be saying, what the heck is a scrub? Like scrubbing pans? Like, what am I doing with this peppermint scrub?
That's what my thought was.
It's actually a scrub for your body.
Oh.
So if you have, like a lot of men and women do, a little bit rougher skin at your elbows or at your heels, or dried out skin, this has coconut oil and a sugar piece to it and a peppermint. And the whole thing, when it's mixed up, you use when you're in the shower and rub it on your feet and your elbows and any area you want to soften up, and it's like magic. It works beautifully. It smells wonderful. You definitely don't, however, want to use it before you go to bed. I made that mistake. Only because peppermint is a what? Wake you up, right? And you definitely don't want to do that before you go to sleep. So first thing in the morning or when you're taking your morning shower to get up. That is also at 10:30 on March 16th, and we have 8 spaces left. So if you are indeed interested, definitely give us a call and we'll sign you right up. St. Patty's Day. St. Patrick's Day, we have a wonderfully generous grant from the Harwich Cultural Council and offshoot from Massachusetts Cultural Council for our friend John Porcino. Somebody said to me, are you kidding? You've got an Italian singing Irish music? Well, that's the case. He is an Italian, and he is singing Irish music. He will be here on the 17th, and it's going to be after the lunch at 12:30. So if you're someone who would like to hear this Irish concert, Linda, our chef, is making the old traditional corned beef and cabbage and potatoes and carrots for lunch. So you can sign up and have the lunch and then stay for the concert. So the concert again is on Thursday, March 17th, and it'll begin promptly at 12:30 as soon as the lunch is over. The concert itself is free. The lunch, however, is the $3, and you do have to RSVP. And you can do that by calling the Council on Aging. The 18th, I just want to give people a reminder. In our newsletter, we had the last Friday of every month is always the free breakfast at Epic of Harwich. And they are always kind enough to sponsor that, and people go, they listen to a person who gives us a talk, a speaker, and then they have this beautiful buffet that Bruce, their chef, makes. And they host it every month. Well, we realized that all of our regulars were calling and canceling and saying, nope, can't go, nope, can't go. And finally, one of our receptionists said, could I ask why? And they said, yeah, it's Good Friday. So apparently there's a number of folks who either don't eat anything on Good Friday or definitely wouldn't be eating, you know, the breakfast bacons and things like that on Good Friday.
Well, the 25th would be the last Friday.
And that's when it was scheduled.
But,
So they have moved it kindly to the 18th.
Oh, okay.
So the free breakfast is at Epic is going to be at 8 a.m. as usual, but on the 18th, not the 25th.
Very good.
So then we move to the 19th. I told you it was all right in a row. The 19th Saturday at 4:30, we are having our wonderful wine tasting fundraiser, and that is going to be at First Crush Winery. Yes, we do have a winery in Harwich. A lot of people don't know that. I still say it's one of our best kept secrets. Maplewood is going to do the food for it, and last year the food was to die for. It was wonderful. And they matched the wines and the food together. It was a really fun event. The tickets are $25, and if you're interested, in the newsletter has the phone number, but it is 508-896-5170, and that is Alzheimer's support services for families. That's their number, and that's who's taking the reservations. And you do need reservations ahead. So that brings us to the last two things that I wanted to tell you about. We are having a contest. Currently, our lunch program is just called Senior Dining. And the staff got together and said, it's kind of boring. You know, we really don't like that name. However, the lunch contest is that you get free lunch for a week on us if we pick the name that you have chosen. And I'll tell you right now, we don't like Lunch Bunch. Somebody mentioned that. So definitely come up with a fun and creative name. And you can write it down and submit it to us. It has to be in writing. And we will put it in our little basket and go through them and choose one. And if we choose yours, they always say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, there is. And you'll get it for a week if yours is the one that's chosen. And the last thing I want to tell you about is this wonderful program called the Brown Bag Food Program. So what is that? Well, it's a grocery brown bag, that's the name, and it's filled with 13 to 16 pounds of groceries. Some of them are perishable, and things like they've had a fresh chicken in there before. They've had lots of fresh veggies in there before, things from fresh kale to spinach, you name it. And again, it's 13 to 16 pounds worth. And it's done every month. We get it through our Lower Cape outreach. So our van goes down to Orleans, picks up the grocery bags for the number of people we have. Right now it's about 20 to 25 people on our list. And then we deliver them directly to you. So if you are interested in this program, the USDA requires that we have an application filled out, and that can be obtained by talking to Kevin, our social services coordinator, and there's an application form that he can fill out with you, send to you, talk with you about. You can get more questions answered, and he can be reached at the outreach line, which is 430-7551, and he's at extension 12. It's a really great program, and I know there's more people out there that are, you know, using the family pantry and doing everything they can to make ends meet, and this is kind of one more cog in the wheel that you can add to your, you know, influx of food. So if it's something that you think that you can use, it would be great to give him a call. The reason I mention it is because a lot of people know about the government food, and I've had some, especially diabetics, who will say to me, I would love to take advantage of that, but it's all canned goods and there's too much salt in them, or there's too much, you know, sugars in things, and they can't take advantage of that program. Well, this one you could, because it's, as I said, there's some staples in the bag, but it's mostly perishable or fresh food. So if you are interested, give Kevin a call. And whether you're Irish or not, we would love to see you on the 17th and to some of the other programs that I mentioned. And I will end with, they are all inside our wonderful little handy-dandy newsletter. And if you do not currently receive that, shame on you. I'm only kidding. You do need to receive it, though, because the menus are in there, the calendars are in there, and it's for the whole building, not just the COA. So you'll see some youth programs in there and some community center programs. The egg hunt is coming up and that kind of thing. And it's all in this document. So how do you get one? You simply come into the Council on Aging. There's a little form that you fill out, and then it automatically will be sent to you. And the newsletter is always 2 months at a time. So the current one is March and April, and the next will be May and June. And if there is something that you would like to get into the newsletter, or you're having a program here or something like that, you just need to simply email it to me. And you can call the Council on Aging to get that email. So thank you so much for tuning in. I know that was a lot of hoopla all together at the same time, but hopefully you'll be able to get yourself reminded about it in the newsletter itself.
Well, very good. Now, can you name the bunny? Is that in the letter?
No, you know, that's a good point, Paul. That came after, unfortunately, the newsletter went to bed. So there is a fun little guy in the front of the community center
There you go.
who has big ears, and he doesn't have a name yet. He's kind of lonely, and he really needs a name. So if you have any ideas or creative names, there's a Naming the Bunny contest, too, going on. And there's little slips of paper that you just fill in your guess, and it goes in a little box. And then we will have a name chosen before we have our egg hunt. And I believe it'll be announced at the egg hunt.
Very good.
So, and so there's no confusion. I did have someone ask me yesterday, the egg hunt is not here anymore.
Right.
It's at the middle school.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are going to take your child to that, it is at the middle school location.
Well, now there you have that. So if you want to find out about your electricity bill, you better sign up and get here for that. Then you can have the soapy business if you have rough skin, and you can a couple of other things you can do. So there are plenty of things going on.
Absolutely.
So keep our number in line. 430-7550 and call up and sign up for any one of these 4 or 5 things. So thank you very much, Barbara Ann.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in.
Very good.